song makes me feel like I'm in like a club on Tatooine. Don't really know how to describe it other than that. How's everyone doing this morning? Look at these tiny ass little bananas. Seems average to me. Average? Bad news for me. Muted on Microsoft Teams listening to the stream. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Oh. Feeling a dominant performance today in our games. You can kind of sense it, can't you? You can kind of sense it in the air that today's going to be a great day. Don't know about you guys. Still watching Sopranos? Yep. I haven't been able to in the last couple days, but yep. MSN. I know, guys. I know. I need to get off Microsoft Edge, whatever the fuck it's called. I'm really not sure why I'm on it, to be 100% honest with you. Hold on. Where are you traveling to this summer? England. In Italy. How about that? How about that? All right, hold on. Having some technical difficulties here behind the scenes. This is the type of stuff you guys don't see. All the glitz and glamour. You guys don't see the behind the scenes technical. Edge is better than Chrome now? Is that right? All the glitz and glamour, you guys don't see the hard work that goes into this behind the scenes. We're in Italy. I lived there for a bit. Florence and I forgot the other part. I always get it confused. Daily reminder that Cooper Flagg will be a Dallas Maverick. I don't need a daily reminder. No, not Rome. It's on the coast. Yeah, I'm gonna pull out all the stops when I'm in Italy. You think they'll get offended if I do a Sopranos bit over there? Why the fuck is the chat not popping up on here? I'm starting to get real upset. That's good. There we go. Wordle. Here we go. We haven't. Wait. Hold on a second. Before we start, what was the word we decided was the one to use on Wordle? What was it? Tears? Is that the best one? All right. It's going to be a lot of you guys tonight when the Thunder close out the series. A lot of tears. All right. Not bad. Not bad. What about a rail? A rail. What about a rapper? Oh. What about a Rolex? What about a Rowlin? What about a rabbi? Honest to God. Terrible guess. Honestly, horrid guess. Aura. Is there a past tense word? Dude, you got aura'd. Pruitt. Pruam. I like this. I like it being ARR. Arrow. Oh my God. What the fuck? So the R isn't here, is not here. So it's something R. So it's, we know that's what it is. There's no other scenario. It has to be that. Pixar. Omar. Oscar. Offer. Ofar. Ofar. Ofer. O'Hare. O'Dare. O'Fair. Orar. O'Ker. Oscar. Owner. I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be. It could be something. Collar. I know that. I knew that wasn't a word, guys, before you say anything. Cotter. Kojar. Copar. Roar. Snort. Bore. I didn't know. I didn't know if that was maybe a word. Let me just see. Let me just. Oh my God. I just wanted to see where the O was. Polar. Oh my God. All right. That took a little too long. We got there. Yeah, I consider that dominant. It took a little bit to get there, but I consider that dominant. Now, this is about to be dominant right here. Chicago Pope. There you go. Things from Chicago. Chicago, the Pope. Rocky. Moonlight. Great movie. Wait a second. Hold on a second. Oscar movies? Moonlight, Rocky, Gladiator? Chicago. What am I missing? Are another one of these movies Crash? Fuck. Damn. Saddle up. Join. Link. Unite. Bridge. Bring things together. Okay. That one was easy. Got that one. Saddle. Chain. Chicago. All right. So I got to be real. I really do think Moonlight, Gladiator, and Rocky are together. Now, what the fuck's the fourth one? Did Gladiator win an Oscar? Moonlight won an Oscar. It's probably my favorite movie of all time. One of the Rockies won an Oscar, I'm pretty sure, didn't it? Didn't one of the Rockies win an Oscar? The Pope? Is that a movie? The Pope? It kind of sounds like it is. The Pope. Moonlight, Pope, Gladiator. All right. That's not one away, by the way. So this was one away. So that means Chicago is in this. Something else isn't. Oh. All right, so we know for sure Chicago is in this grouping. Wheel. Wheel, saddle, chain, pedal. This all sounds like it could be stuff on a bike. Okay. Parts of a bike. Scat, crash. Fuck. Oh, are these types of... Fuck. One guess. I didn't know if maybe these are types of like jazz music, which I think is still kind of a possibility here. We are one away with this. We are one away with this. Gladiator, Rocky, Chicago, and Moonlight. One away. Bluest Pope's Cat Crash. Are one of those a movie? Am I overthinking the movie aspect? It's staring us right in the fucking face. Like Gladiator, Rocky, Moonlight. It's hard to imagine that's not a movie thing. But Chicago has to be in it. All right, I'm looking at the chat. Wait, Crash instead of Rocky? Best Picture winner since 2000. Hell yeah. 2004 film, Crash. All right. Bluest Pope, Scat, Rocky. Music genres plus a letter. Oh my fuck. Ska, rock, pop, blues. Did a Rocky not win an Oscar? One of the Rockies? I know it was since 2000s. I know it was since 2000s. It did. It won. Hey, before you guys shitted on me, it did win Best Picture. All right. It did. So I was actually kind of right. I was actually right in my assessment. So I'm proud of myself for that. I think we did pretty good. I think we did pretty good. I mean, the adding a letter one, that one, and you have to remind yourself, don't get too worked up about that because that creeps into your head. Let's see what did Rocky beat that year? Rocky beat All the President's Men, Bound for Glory, Network, Taxi Driver. Damn, it's kind of a stacked year. You gotta be honest. That's a bit of a stacked year. What's on my screen on ESPN? I don't even really want to know. All right. CB3 is a great fit for young players. Look at his history. D-Books, SGA, Wimby, all improving. Yes. I mean, I'm here for it. I am. It's not it's not like the most exciting thing, but it's also not the worst thing though. CP3 is also disgusting. Player deserves zero respect or success. I mean, like, I'm not going to lie. I haven't been the biggest Chris Paul fan over the years. SGA says CP3 is his mentor and big reason why he became who he is today. So I love CP3 mentoring flag. Yeah, I mean, I'm here for it. Why aren't you on Locked On Mavs more frequently? I don't know. I do post-game stuff. That's my role with the team. I made a realistic trade for the Mavs to say $20 million. All right, let's hear it. One thing I wish about YouTube chat that playback chat completely clears it on. I wish you guys could send links in here. Now I know the potential pitfalls of that, but I think it would be fine. Like, I think it'd be great if you guys could send tweets in here. It would just make things so much easier when you guys have topics you want me to discuss. Potential pitfalls equal porn. That's really it. Mavs get pick 26. Atlanta gets Gafford. Nets get Hardy and pick 22. That's actually pretty interesting. That's honestly pretty good. No, the Nets would have to like somebody in the draft. Feels like Isaac came back and Nick forgot about slightly. No, bro, I just do post game stuff. There's no post games anymore. That's it. Good morning, folks. It's Wednesday, May 28th, 2025, 11:03 a.m. Central Standard Time. My God, May just disappeared. Like, how is it already May 28th? Like, this month just didn't happen. When you think about it, I'm actually kind of convinced this month might not have happened. We got a lot to go over today. It feels like some off-season stuff starting to ramp up as we get closer and closer to that. It'll be here before you know it. In the coming weeks, it'll all ramp up. Been listening to some podcasts and people talking. Shams was on Pat McAfee's show saying that it was going to be that front office personnel across the league are gearing up for one of the crazier off seasons in a while. Windhorse was on Russella's podcast saying he thinks it's going to be a crazy off season, but a crazy draft is what he thinks is going to happen. Paul with the $5. I wouldn't invite Sally Bias back after the stuff he said about Nick either. Stop it. We don't need Nick to find out about that. Sally, have you heard about drafting a player and having them be too good like LeBron and Luka is not good for your team? Yeah, well, yeah, I've been knowing that. I've said that about the Mavs for a long time, that Luka was too good too early, honestly. And it fucked with the team. But anyways, we're gearing up. We're getting close to the offseason, and we're starting to get some more rumors, some more, hey, be on the lookout for this, be on the lookout for that. More importantly, both conference finals are 3-1 currently. By the end of tomorrow night, we could have our finals matchup locked in. Just like that. Timberwolves Thunder tonight, game number 5. The Thunder up 3-1 in that series. Game 5 in Oklahoma City. I'm fully expecting a Thunder rout tonight, to be honest with you, in the series to end in OKC. But I also can imagine a scenario in which the Timberwolves pull out a win and, Ants, it feels like this happens. And I love Anthony Edwards, and you guys do know that. But I do kind of agree with some of the people who have said now that he sort of gets a bigger pass than a lot of other star level players. And that's fine, right? He's young. That's how it works, right? And I think that'll probably change after this season. But it does feel like he'll have these moments in the playoffs. Like, he pops off tonight, Timberwolves get a win on the road, and he's talking shit after, like, yeah, we'll see y'all in Minnesota. We're coming back here for game 7. And then they get rolled in game 6, but nobody really remembers that. They just remember and talking shit. Like, that's kind of what happened last year. Mavs are up 3-0. Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves won game 4. Ant's talking shit to Michael Parsons. Like, yeah, well, I'll be back. I'll be back for game 6. And then they get blown out in game 5. But everyone kind of just remembered him talking shit after game 4. I don't know. I picked OKC in 6 originally at the start of the series. After game 1, I changed that to 5. I still feel that's the case. I'd be a little bit surprised if the Thunder do not come out with a vengeance tonight and take care of business. That would be my guess. After game, what game are we at? After game 4, OKC in 5, 99%. Feeling pretty good about it. Knicks Pacers. I originally picked Knicks in 7. I did not feel confident about it whatsoever. This series is now 3-1. And I feel there's a lot of different ways you can look at it. You can make the case the Knicks could be up 3-1. You can make the case the series should be tied. You can make the case the Pacers could have swept this series at this point. Obviously, game 1 was a complete and total fucking collapse by the Knicks. Outside of that, though, and a sort of second half collapse by the Pacers have felt like the better team through and through over the course of this series. And I'm not like ready to completely and totally say it's over. Right? 2 games in New York. This is just how it goes. If you're the road team in a series, you're up 3-1. You lose game 5 and it goes to game 6. That's a lot of pressure on you to win at home. Because then you go on the road for a game 7. We talk about this all the time. One of the things that really concerns me with this Knicks-Pacers series for the Knicks now, obviously besides the fact that they're down 3-1 in the series, is that there were some moments last night where, and we were really watching the shots, the Knicks shots, just how short some of them were, how off some of them were. And they shot really well from the field. But there were still some moments where I just thought, man, this team looks fucking gassed, man. Like they look tired. And this isn't even like a, oh, Tibbs, I can't believe Tibbs did this. I can't believe Tibbs did this. That's not even the angle I'm taking here. I'm more so taking the Pacers just do this to you approach. The Pacers are just nightmares. I want to look up really quick. What Towns and Brunson on the floor together in this series? What is it looking like? Because it feels like they almost accidentally stumbled into this defensive lineup where it's just you got defenders on the floor and then one of Brunson or one of Towns. And it feels like they've just like stumbled into this, and it's a little awkward, I think, because it's a little awkward because wait, what the fuck? Why is this not showing up? Conference finals, dude. The NBA website is a joke. No offense to it. Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns have a 130 defensive rating when they share the floor together. 130 defensive rating, minus 19. I mean, that's tough. That's tough right there. 140 defensive rating with Towns and Robinson. Yeah, they're Cat. It's interesting because Cat's been really important to them as a team in this series because offensively. And it's interesting because you look at the minutes where it's like Cat and Deuce or Cat and DeLon Wright. Very small minutes, obviously. Very small sample size. But those numbers are good. I mean, they have a 10 net rating with Cat and Deuce. 18 with Cat and DeLon Wright. Again, such a small sample that I don't know if it really means anything or matters at all. But when it's, Cat and Mitchell Robinson, 118 defensive rating, minus 9. I mean, that's bad. Don't get me wrong, but it's really the Cat Brunson stuff. When you're playing a team like Indiana who just runs and runs and runs and runs and is constantly moving screens, pin downs, back screens, back cuts, And it just requires effort for 48 minutes and communication for 48 minutes. That's when having two guys who are bad defensive players, Cat and Jalen Brunson, are both fucking bad on defense. That's just the truth. They're both bad. Having two of those guys out there hurts you, and it doesn't help that Josh Hart has sucked. It does not help that Josh Hart has been terrible in this series. So now you have like a real dilemma on your hands if you're Tibbs. And I've seen a lot of people be like, I've seen a lot of people shit on Tibbs. Tibbs should be fired after this. I don't know, man. I feel like that kind of is disrespectful to the Pacers in a way. Like what do we think? What do we think Tibbs realistically should be doing differently? He made the lineup changes. They put Mitchell Robinson in the starting five. They played Shamet. They played Deuce McBride. They played DeLon Wright. They played a deep rotation. Right? And I thought in game 3, I thought that was a masterstroke. People were talking about like, you can't wait that long to put Brunson in. No, I thought that was a masterclass by him. I really did. I thought that was genius. I thought it was the right call because I didn't think Brunson was good. I thought defensively they were getting fucking torched. And the lineup that they had, the grouping that they had out there with Deuce, with DeLon Wright, was good enough defensively and exactly what they needed in that moment defensively. And it did. It won them the game in a lot of ways. Absolutely. It did. And I thought he did a pretty good job last night too, of trying to stagger these guys a little bit more. Cat and JB. The Pacers are just really fucking good. I think that's really what it boils down to, man. The mic is bad? Really? He doesn't have many options. Yeah, and again, it does not help that Josh Hart has looked terrible. You know, it doesn't help that Mikal Bridges looked awful last night. It refuses to take layups. It settles for these fall away 10-footers. I don't really know what else he could do differently. If maybe your logic is, well, this is kind of the ceiling we get with the Tibbs team, and we want greener pastures. I mean, okay, I guess, but I don't think there's anything Tibbs has done specifically in this series where it's like, okay, we weren't going to fire him, but now we're going to. Does that make sense? Why does Brunson get none of the criticism Luka gets? He's heliocentric, holds the ball way too much, and is a poor defender. Because he's not Luka. Like, you guys need to understand, Luka's in a different stratosphere. He just is. It's why he gets brought up all the time. It sucks, but it comes with the territory. I've told you guys this a million times. Like, I know it's annoying. I know it sucks. I know it's like, why do you guys always shit on Luka? It's because Luka is supposed to be one of the greatest players of all time. Okay? And there is a different expectation that comes with that, and you're held to a higher standard. Is it fair? I don't know. It's up for you to decide, but it's the truth. Because he isn't fat, because he's American. It's because he's American. Infamously, no Americans ever get shit out of the media. LeBron's actually Croatian. Did you know that? Did you guys know that? LeBron's actually Croatian. Applied for a citizenship when he was 8 years old. They changed him to an American citizen. And he was in the United States for long enough that his accent's completely gone. But he's actually Croatian. But you guys, I learned that. Doris did try to pull the Brunson doesn't get his teammates involved thing. I do think it's a valid criticism. I mean, you guys, I have moments where I'm like, Luka needs to move the ball more. Luka needed to get off the ball more. Like I think that's a valid criticism. Especially when you do have talented offensive players around you, especially when you see moments when it's just like, all right, Cat, go to work. And there's nobody on this Indiana team who can guard Cat. Nobody. That's what makes it so frustrating sometimes. That's what makes the Cat experience so frustrating, is it's like, it was the same thing in the Pistons series too. It's like, dude, they don't have anyone who can fuck with you. Nobody. Like when you are aggressive and you're getting downhill and we're we're isolating you at the top of the key, and you're going to work and driving and, you know, doing your little hook, doing your hook move, which is clean, annoying. Brunson is still in the honeymoon phase with casuals and most media, although I think the series may be his tipping point if they lose in 5. But my thing is like, I think most people are honest about Brunson. I don't think anyone thinks he's like a top 5 realistic MVP guy. People like him because he's, you know, he's a great player. He's on the Knicks. I feel like people have a pretty fair grasp of who Brunson is, to be fair. Celtics deserve more credit for sweeping these demons last year. No, for real. For real. 100%. 100%. Cat is talented, but kind of a low IQ player, especially on defense. No, I wouldn't say kind of. He's very much is a low IQ player on defense. Yeah, I mean, yes, absolutely. He had 2 fouls yesterday that in the fourth quarter were just like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Had the one where him and Miles Turner are duking it out for post position, and you know they're looking at it. You know they're looking at it. And he's just hooking Miles Turner's arm for like, literally, like, go back and watch it. It was early in the fourth quarter. He's hooking Miles Turner's arm for like 8 seconds. It's like, all right, dude, after the 3rd or 4th second, you're a little too close to the sun. After about the 4th second, you're flying too close to the sun. And then he had the foul where he's holding Miles Turner's hand going for a screen. It's like, you don't even really need to do that, man. Like, that doesn't even, you don't need to do that. You didn't need to do that right there. That's just a stupid fucking foul. It's very frustrating. And why it's so frustrating is because you see like the fourth quarter in game 3. You even see moments last night where he was just dominant. It's like, dude, this guy's so good. He's so good. Potential Pacers Thunder finals. I'm saying all that to say, like, I'm not ready to stamp that this series is over. I don't think the Pacers lose 3 in a row, but I'm not ready to just like write it in stone. Do I think OKC can beat the Pacers can beat OKC in the finals? Truthfully, no. I think the second round of the Western Conference playoffs will be what we look at and we're like, yeah, that was probably it. That was probably it. How am I so delusional? When are you guys going to get off the OKC hate stuff? Like, I have to ask that question. Now, with that being said, though, the Pacers have defied expectations every step of the way here. They, like, them beating the Bucks, that was supposed to happen. The Bucks were, if you follow the Bucks at all, you knew that they were done. Over under on never. I'll take the over on that. I mean, they dismantled the Cavs. They beat the Cavs in such a way that it went from the Cavs are having their best season since LeBron. Oh, actually, this might even be a better season than any of those LeBron. You remember that? There was a stretch where it was like, this actually might be a better team than any of those LeBron teams. To now we're like, I don't know, man. Maybe they trade Darius Garland. Like, yeah, they might trade Jared Allen. Like, that's what the Pacers did to them. Dismantled them. And now it's 3-1 against the Knicks. The Knicks were the betting favorites entering the series. Granted, it was close. I don't know. I don't want to completely say they have no chance. They can run a very deep rotation. So they can run with the Thunder. They do not turn the ball over. That's their thing in that series. They don't turn the ball over. So that is what's in their favor entering that series. I don't understand your faith in the Knicks, to be honest. I mean, I think the Pacers are going to win this series. All 4 games have been close. All 4 games could have gone any different way. I'm not ready to say, like, I'm not ready to say, yeah, it's Pacers. It's Pacers Thunder in the finals, guaranteed. Last night wasn't that close. Would we be all that surprised if both game fives in these series ended up like Thunder win by 20, Pacers kind of pull away late, win by 17, Madison Square Gardens, there's some boos. We're kind of left asking ourselves, like, what the fuck happened? What just happened? Anyways, after game 4, we're going Indy in. I'll go 6. I'll give the Knicks a win at home. Indy in 6, 91%. Never trust teams without superstars, i.e. the Cavs, Knicks, and soon-to-be Pacers, OKC in 5. So is Halliburton a superstar? This question has been floating around quite a bit. Is Tyrese Halliburton a superstar? Not even close. Yes, he's a star. I mean, everyone's definition of this varies. Everyone's interpretation of what a superstar is varies. Now, he did just have a stat line we'd never seen before. 32 points, 15 assists, 12 rebounds, 4 steals, and craziest of them all, 0 turnovers. 15 assists, 0 turnovers. Unbelievable stat. We've never seen anything like it. Only game with 30 points, 15 assists on 0 turnovers in the history of the NBA playoffs. I feel so my definition of a superstar, and I don't like these arguments are just fucking stupid to me. My definition of a superstar extends beyond basketball. Like if I'm talking about this guy's a superstar, I'm viewing that more from a marketing perspective, if that makes sense. This guy's a superstar. The league pushes him. He's selling shoes. He's got, whatever the case may be. Shea's a superstar. Absolutely. He just won MVP. Now, there's obviously a talent, like a performance metric that you have to reach. I also think like a good benchmark for a superstar. Are you 1,000% convinced this guy can be the number one on a team that wins a championship? If the answer to that question is yes, then I think you're more than likely talking about a superstar. Jokic, superstar. Giannis, superstar. Luka, superstar. SGA, superstar. So that's 4 guys in the league that I'm convinced are superstars, and you throw LeBron in there because LeBron's obviously a fucking superstar. And in my opinion, Curry's obviously a superstar. See, like that's where like are you convinced that LeBron can be the best player on a championship team right now? Or are you convinced Curry can be the undisputed best player on a championship team right now? Those guys are getting up there in age. Probably not. So yeah, KD, Steph, LeBron, these guys get like grandfathered in to the superstar conversation. Durant and AD are both still better than Brunson and Hallie. Once you make it to the finals, you're in a different stratosphere. I wouldn't argue anyone saying Tyrese Halliburton's a superstar. Is AD a superstar? See, that's where I would draw the line. I would say no. Anthony Davis is not a superstar. I would draw the line there. This postseason, 19.5 points per game, nearly 10 assists per game, under 2 turnovers per game. Cooper Flag. Yeah, Cooper Flag might win MVP this year. Take that to the bank. In this series, 24 points a game, 11 assists, only 1.5 turnover per game. 11 assists, 1.5 turnovers per game in this series. 11 assists in game 1. 11 assists in game 2. 15 in game 4. The Pacers just as a team have reached this point. Their offense, their offense is going to be their offense. I don't think you can take them out of it. I don't think there's a single thing that you can do to make them uncomfortable offensively. And whatever you do make, whatever adjustments you do make, think about the Cavs going to that zone in game 3. It's like, oh, okay, the Cavs have figured out the Pacers. Like, they went to this zone, picked it apart in game 4 and game 5. They just play at their pace no matter what. No pun intended. Their shooting has been unbelievable as a team. I think I saw today 62% true shooting as a team. They don't miss. We talk about, like, we joke around about the devil magic stuff, and they've had a couple of wins this postseason where you're like, what the fuck? How did you guys just win that game? Like, game 5 against the Bucks, come on. That was just an unbelievable win. Like a once in every 5 years type of win in the playoffs. But then you had game 2 against the Cavs. Then you had game 1 of this series. And it is like, my God, it feels like once a series now with this Pacers team. You could pencil in like one game where it's like, how the hell do they win that? I watched a lot of YouTube. No one is talking about Ant. They talk about Luka waist. Like Luka's fat? Is that what you're saying? Guys, I don't know. Any Luka fans in here, I've got some really bad news for you guys, and I need you to sit down when I tell you this. It's going to be a brutal, brutal ass summer for you guys. Just have to be honest with you. It's going to be brutal. Okay? I remember there were times you guys would come in here and say, this fan base, like the Mavs fan base, there's no one more, like no other fan base would treat a player like that. No. You guys are in probably the worst market. Okay. This is going to be an onslaught from here on out. Like, it's just the way that it's going to be. I'm sorry to relay that information yet to you. It's not even June yet. We're already getting the Luka skinny photos. He did look good. I mean, he did look good. Last year's Mavs team could win the Western Conference and Finals this year. So let me just say this: last year's Mavs team is getting beat by this Pacers team, and I would honestly, God, probably say 5 games. Just going to be honest with you guys. I truthfully do think last year's Mavs team loses in 5 to the Pacers. Absolutely. I'm really not that convinced they'd beat the Thunder either. This Thunder team's incredible. Like, I'm just... Does this Pacers team win over last year's Celtics? No, I don't think so. Not a chance. The Pacers throughout the Luka era shitted all over the Mavs every single time they played. Like, every single Pacers game, at the end of it, you had to sit down and be like, is this Mavs team even fucking good? Like, that's how badly they dominated the Mavs for years. Years. They play a brand of basketball that is like how you beat last year's Mavs team. That's just it. They play fast. They move around off ball. They space the floor. It was the Mavs kryptonite. It was Mavs kryptonite. It was one of the things, like, yeah, the Mavs had a great run to the finals last year. They played great teams. Clippers were a good team, you know, especially with Kawhi the way that he was. But the Thunder were a great team last year. The Timberwolves were a great team last year. You got a little bit lucky because you didn't play. The matchups did benefit you, though. The matchups did benefit you last year. Could have lost to Denver. I mean, absolutely, yeah. They took care of business. Don't get me wrong. Thunder literally made their moves because Dallas beat them. Yeah, I mean, they knew they had to get bigger. Who exactly were we supposed to play instead? I'm not like shitting on them. You don't have to get defensive. You do not have to get defensive. I'm not. This is what I'm saying. Nobody has to be getting defensive right now. I'm not like shitting on any team. I'm asking a question. I don't get your question, though. Who exactly were we supposed to play instead? I'm not like making a statement that the Mavs were super lucky and that they had a fake run and they didn't play anyone. Some Mavs fans were acting like the finals run was done deal if Luka wasn't traded. So anyways, Tyrese Halliburton is a superstar. Is Tyrese Halliburton after this year for you guys definitively a top 10 player? Like if you guys sit down and do a top 20, top 30 list, is Halliburton top 10? Yeah? No? So you've got Jokic, Luka, Giannis, Shea, top 4 unquestionably. Tatum when healthy, top 5. I do think outside of that, like I feel like that's a pretty strong top 5. I think from 6 onwards, you could make the case for a lot of guys. Now, I don't know if I'd say Halliburton's the 6th best player in the NBA, but from 6 onwards, there's a lot of arguments to be made for some of these guys. So on Locked On, you mentioned the Alien ride. It was called Alien Encounter, and it closed in 2003 due to too many kids being scared by it and adults having medical attacks from it. Yeah, that was 100% it. Alien Encounter. That was 1,000% the ride. Wemby and AD clear. I'm thinking about this list right now, and I don't know how you couldn't have Halliburton in your top 10. I'm not sure how Halliburton is not in your top 10 after this year. It feels like it's pretty much set in stone now. No, you can't. I don't know. I don't know where you would put Embiid, honestly. Hallie or Ant? Now, that's the question. That's the question that should be being asked. Tyrese Halliburton or Anthony Edwards? Hallie over Ant a million times. Yeah, I think I'd rather have Anthony Edwards, truth be told. But I still love Halliburton. Halliburton's easily in the top 10. I can't say easily, though. I mean, if I'm building a team moving forward, I think I'd want Ant because that potential is absolutely sky high. If I want to win a game tomorrow, if you want to win a game tomorrow, who are you picking? That's an interesting one. Knicks, Cavs, and Bucks perimeter defense is awful, though. Don't you think that plays a part? I mean, are they really that awful? I'll give you the Bucks, but are they really that awful, or is this Pacers team just making them look awful? The Pacers team have been doing this for months. Months and months and months. Where would Siakam rank right now? So easily a top 30 player in the league. Siakam is. Easily. Does he have an argument for 20? Top 20? We'll sit down. We'll do a top 100 list. Top 27? I don't know about 27. Maybe 28. Well, 28's kind of where I'm at. 25-ish. What about 26-ish? So I think Hallie's a bit overrated because his scoring is so limited at times. Wait till you see what happens to him versus OKC defense. Yeah, I mean, look, there's arguments against him. Because there are times, you even saw this in game 3, the game in which they lost. There are times where it's like, you need to go get a bucket. The game has slowed down now. The game's slowed down. Can you just go out and get a shot? If you're a superstar, if you're a top 10, top 5, top 7 player, can you go out and get us a bucket? And I think Halliburton lacks in that department compared to maybe some other top-end guys. You're getting fooled by the Pacers just being an awesome all-around. Halliburton just doesn't pressure defenses with his scoring nearly enough to be a top-tier guy. But he does put pressure on defenses, though. He plays at a pace that you really can't... You really can't bother. Halliburton, I think, is easily a top 10 player in the league now after this run. I think so. When you look at all the other players that are around that tier, yeah, I think he's top 10. Do a top 50. Bill Simmons was comparing him to Steve Nash last night. And his like step back threes have been dropping lately. When those go, it's like, oh fuck. Fuck. Easily top 10. I think like two conference finals trips in a row is probably going to make the finals this year. I know the Pacers are a great team. But you look at the guys who are like around that 10 spot. And it is like, it's kind of hard to make an argument for him outside the top 10. Better playmaker, Luka or Hallie? Luka. Halliburton's a great playmaker. Luka, the pressure Luka puts on defenses with his scoring ability is just, Halliburton doesn't do that, realistically. When you say top 10, right? You mean right now or at their peaks? Oh, yeah, top 10 right now. Who's your top 10 players? I don't know. We'll do a list. I don't know off the top of my head. I've felt for a while now we've had kind of an impenetrable, for at least like the last 2 years, an impenetrable top 4, which is Jokic, Giannis, Luka, and Shea. I do think those 4 are the 4 best players in the league, and I don't really think there's someone knocking to get in there just yet. Tatum, Curry, Wemby, the next 3. So just the fact that we're like, yeah, Curry's in the top 7, guaranteed. Like, yes, Halliburton's a top 10 player. No questions asked for me. No questions asked. A healthy Embiid, yeah, but that's been years. We're years removed from that at this point. Ringer had Luka at 5. They have Tatum in the top 4. I don't like, if you're just strictly going off of this year, I don't think that's that crazy, to be honest with you. I mean, am I like, do we not remember like Steph's still easily a top 10 player in the league. Please don't shit on me. Please don't shit on me, guys. Curry's the best of the old 3. Who's the old 3? Is it Steph, LeBron, KD? Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fine to say. I think you can make an argument for Bron. And now we have people saying Bron's better than KD's better. I love this shit. LaMelo disrespected. I got to show you guys something. I got to show you guys something that I'm ashamed of. So every now and then I like to look through some of my old tweets. How do you do like a search for old tweets? Like what is the... Okay, here we go. I got it. Okay. Halliburton. So I was looking through my old tweets. This one right here, 2023, Siakam, Jaylen Brown, Halliburton, Paul George, Jamal Murray, and Darius Garland ahead of Shea. Look, man, I was so in on the Shea stuff. So ahead of it. So ahead of it. Scrolling. Look, 2022, Tyrese Halliburton, 14 assists and 0 turnovers, all-star. Tyrese Halliburton just saved the Pacers franchise. The Kings should be banned from organized sports if they trade Halliburton. I honestly prefer trading Fox at this point. Yeah, ignore the Ayton tweet. Halliburton and Ayton, pretty great young duo to build around. Ignore the Ayton tweet. No. Trust me, guys. I'm not trying to scroll past the Ayton tweet because it gets way worse. Oh, wait a second. Where is it? Oh. I'd rather have LaMelo long-term than Halliburton, and I feel pretty comfortable in saying that. Oh. That one's a tough one. That one's a tough pill to swallow. And it has nothing to do with Halliburton. It has and if you guys have followed me for a long time, you know, it has everything to do with my undying love of the Hornets and LaMelo Ball. And you want to know what the problem is here? Is I, for sure, not this past year, because this past year I had to let them go. I had to for myself and for them in a lot of ways. I had to let them go. I had to let them go. But it's for sure because in years past, I had watched more Hornets basketball than probably any other non-Hornets fan. And I'd seen LaMelo. And yes, the 12 games he plays a year, I'd be like, holy fuck, this guy's legitimately insane. Does this guy play winning basketball? I don't know. Does this guy play winning basketball? I don't know. I just watched him shoot a one-legged fadeaway corner three over two people, and he made it. This was my love of that blinding me. Search Ayton. I can't imagine I had much positive to say about Ayton ever, really, at any point. DeAndre Ayton is 20 of 27 against the Dallas Mavericks so far this season. Oh, yeah. He was carving the Mavs up earlier this year with those little free throw line jumpers. That's right. Arguing that DeAndre Ayton was the right pick in 2023. Of this, I'm certain. DeAndre Ayton was the right pick at number 1. Had the Suns drafted Luka Doncic, he would have run Booker out of town. Stars want to play with Luka. No KD, no book. Championship window closed. $2023. All right, look, I'm shitting on Ayton. All of my Ayton tweets are shitting on him. Oh, I mean, I'm deep in the arguments here. It's September 28th. I don't get into it on Twitter like this anymore. You're overrating Ayton. Post from an account you muted. All right. Tim McMahon on the Hoop Collective just confirmed that the Suns were willing to trade Ayton for Tim Hardaway Jr. and Rashawn Holmes. The value for Ayton is clearly trash. Ask yourselves, if I'm a team that's hopeful to contend this year, do I really want the guy who was angry and pouting on a team that was contending? I know the Mavs desperately need a center, but Ayton vibes are in the toilet. Yeah. So many L takes here. Ayton would have made us contenders today, but y'all want to stick with Dwight Powell and a project and Lively. Ooh, I won't even continue to read that. We've all had our fuck ups. No, guys, I muted everyone. I've muted so many people. Man, we were really in the weeds on. Oh God, what is this, dude? Holy shit, man. Dude, you don't have to say ew, bro. You don't have to say ew. You could just say, you don't have to say ew. Bring back that lighting. What was I thinking? What the fuck? Well, I would watch these back and be like, nah, that looks good.
Mavs side 8 and Cat Twin Towers. Oh my God. If the Twin Towers was made of the same material as Cat and DeAndre Ayton, the planes would have just bounced off. So
That's a good one. That only got 28 likes. That's a shame. That's a shame. Hell yeah. Look at me just shitting all over DeAndre Ayton. I always hated DeAndre Ayton. Getting Ayton for relatively cheap, even though his contract is absurd, would be cool, but I'm not throwing a fucking parade. Me waking up on July 7th for the DeAndre Ayton Chris Paul introductory press conference with the Dallas media. Hey, that might happen this year. Hey, 2 years later, we're getting it. 2 years later, we're getting it. Full circle, baby. Full circle. Oh my God, man. Oh. DeAndre Ayton remains one of the most embarrassing players in the NBA, maybe the most. Dude, I fucking hate DeAndre Ayton. Oh. Ayton has to be the most frustrating player in the league. I don't shit on players like this anymore on Twitter. I learned my lesson. All right, 2022, I was kind of feeling it. Has DeAndre Ayton become underrated? All right. What's an NBA take this season that'll make you feel like this? 2021, the Suns are right to question giving Ayton a max. Hell yeah. Ranking the 2018. Okay, this is from 2020. Ranking the 2018 draft class. I had Luka number 1, Jaren Jackson number 2. Saw the vision. What was Jaren Jackson at in 2020? Saw the vision there. Trey, Shea at number 4 in 2020. Ayton. Mitchell Robinson at 6. God damn. What the fuck? What was going on then? MPJ 7. Sexton, Bagley. Oof. Mikal, number 10. Who am I missing? No Brunson, obviously. Who else am I missing? I feel like I'm missing someone. This would be an interesting top 10 to do over again. Let me look at that draft. What would the top 10 look like? Oh, okay. Actually, this has actually become a pretty fun conversation. Because what is the 2018 draft class? If we're being honest, what does a 2018 redraft look like right now? Only 2 likes and no replies. You guys got to understand, I got it out the mud. You guys call me a plant sometimes. No plant here. The only plant is is me. Because I grew from the mud. Is Luka going number 1 in a redraft? Or is Shea? Shea easily. Think about it. Think about an NBA team. We're doing a redraft. We're just throwing all of these guys right now into it, right? Like all of these guys in their current form. Who are we drafting first overall? We have a 10-hour meeting. Yeah, it would be a contentious 10-hour meeting for sure. I think pretty much every team would take Shea. And I don't think I would. I would take Luka because I think he's a better player. But I think most teams would take Shea, actually. Shea is older than Luka by like 9 months. No, I think teams would look at Shea and Luka and think, yeah, maybe Luka's a better player, but we are a little concerned about some of the stuff. We are a little concerned about maybe some of the injuries and either way, Luka, Shea 1-2. Then who goes 3? Brunson, right? You've got, I think Jaren Jackson's got an argument. I don't think a team would take Jaren Jackson over Brunson, but Jaren Jackson, Trey, I don't think has an argument over Brunson. I think it's pretty clearly Brunson. Then you got an interesting conversation at 4. Do you want the guard in Trey? Do you want the forward / big in Jaren Jackson? I'm trying to think if anyone else has an argument, because I was going to say, do you maybe throw Mikal into this threesome? But no way, right? I think you go Jaren Jackson Jr. 4. Then I do think you'd start to have like nerdy conversations at 5 between Trey and Mikal Bridges. Honest to God, I think you start to have nerdy conversations. You start to do well, can we win with Trey? Like, he's good and all, but can we win with him? Like, Mikal's not going to be our number 1 ever, but maybe Trey's not number 1 for us. Mikal's just easier to build around. Yeah, I mean, you guys know how I feel about Trey. I would take Trey easily. But I'm saying I think you would start to get those conversations. So top 6, I mean, then Mikal goes, right? So your top 6 would be Luka, Shea, Brunson, Jaren Jackson Jr., Trey, and Mikal Bridges. Then you start to get into some funny, some interesting names. Like, where does Ayton go in a redraft? Are you taking Michael Porter Jr. over Ayton? Surely, right? I think Ayton still probably goes top 10. I'm looking at it. Ayton or Wendell Carter Jr.? No, Ayton's probably going higher than 20. Ayton's probably going in the 15-ish, top 15-ish, but probably top 10. I'm just looking at the names. I think I'd rather have Wendell than Ayton. Probably. I don't know. I really did not like Wendell Carter Jr.'s season at all this past year. Do you go Sexton over Ayton? Yeah. Do you go DiVincenzo over Ayton? All right, bear with me here. Do you go Miles Bridges over Ayton? He's a better player than DeAndre Ayton. Full stop. There is no argument that Miles Bridges is not better than DeAndre Ayton. But then you'd have to factor in all of the other off-court shit. Anthony Simons over Ayton? Yeah. I think so. Anybody in the second round? Not Mitchell Robinson, right? Too hurt. I mean, right? Not Gary Trent Jr. That's crazy talk at that point, right? Yeah, it is. Not Vanderbilt, Bruce Brown. Justin Jackson? Kostas Antetokounmpo. Last pick in this draft. Now, here's an actual question. Would you rather have Kostas on your team and try and convince Giannis to join your team, or would you rather have Ayton? Would you rather have Kostas in the off chance that it convinces Giannis to come to your team? Make maybe 1% boost. Maybe a 1% boost that you get Giannis. Or would you rather have Ayton? Ayton's at 30 million, isn't he? Ayton is a very frustrating player because he has stretches where he looks really fucking good. But it's just, he can't put it together. He's so, I'm just going to say it, and I don't like saying this about guys, but he is soft. He's soft. He plays soft for a player of his size and his sort of physical composition. 34 or 35. Jesus Christ. I've seen Blazers fans be like, yeah, we'll just trade Ayton somewhere. Brother, who the fuck's trading for that? Robinson over Ayton? Yeah, this went from, dude, we need to, the 2018 draft so stacked to, yeah, DeAndre Ayton sucks. How do we get from talking about Tyrese Halliburton into DeAndre Ayton sucks? All right, let's try to make the case for DeAndre Ayton top 10. I want to get DeAndre Ayton in the top 10. 2018 redraft. All right, just so I don't get killed. We'll go Luka number 1. Although I think whatever team in this scenario ends up with number 1 is having probably a 48-hour straight. Everyone leave your phones. We made cots that you can go and sleep on. All right. There's no leaving this room. We're going to order pizza. No leaving this room. We're having 48 hours worth of discussions about this. Luka or Shea. Number 1, Luka. Number 2, Shea. And I will tell you, I think teams would take Luka. And I'm just telling you what I think teams would do. I think they would take Shea. I'm going to tell you right now, I think they would take Shea. Jaren Jackson Jr., number 3, right? Trey, number 4. With Mikal, number 5. Now, is this impenetrable? Oh, yeah, Brunson. Duh. Is this the impenetrable top 6? My bad. I forgot Brunson. My bad. There's no argument for Michael Porter Jr., obviously. There's no... Those 6 are going top 6. Now, when does Ayton start to have a case? Who's going 7? Do we decide Michael Porter Jr.? I think it would be Michael Porter Jr. You think Anthony Simons goes 7? No, I think teams would still value the size and the floor spacing that Michael Porter Jr. provides. Now is where I think you could start to maybe toss Ayton's name into the mix. You think Simons would go next? Huh. Are we sure Simons even goes ahead of Sexton, actually? I'm honestly not so sure that Sexton. Yeah, I think Sexton goes ahead of Simons. Simons is wildly underrated. Simons is just like a microwave scorer who is horrible on defense, like actually atrocious. Remember that game he had? Remember that game he had against the Mavs where how many fucking points did he have in the third quarter? What was it, like 30 or some shit? I thought it was like 30 points in the third quarter, and he fouled out 2 minutes into the fourth. Because the Mavericks were hunting him and scoring on him every single possession. Every single possession, they were hunting him and scoring on him. I think Sexton would be next. Now here is where you have to insert Miles Bridges' name. He has to be considered. Miles Bridges has to be considered around here. Yeah, after doing this, there's no way. There's absolutely no way he can go top 10. Like, let's just do Sexton, Miles Bridges. Like, yeah. And that's before you get into the I have a better question. Who's going to be attending the Shea Luka conclave? I mean, am I overthinking it, or would that not be if this hypothetical scenario happened? Would that not be one of the most interesting conversations? Sexton taken twice. Oh, we just love him that much. I'm telling you, I think teams would take Shea. I really do. Like, I even do think Mitchell Robinson, Wendell Carter. Am I maybe sleeping on Wendell Carter a little bit? Should he be in the top 10? I really disliked his season. Like, Wendell Carter over Miles Bridges. Something like that. And so the Suns picking one, they definitely pick Shea. He fits with Book. This is like but it's hard to do this in the context of the teams. I think you just have to do just basically re-ranking it. Let me know when Shea puts up 60, 20, 10 in a game while I hand Silver our pick. I feel like after this year, probably can't be doing the let me know when Shea does X, Y, and Z thing before. Like, it's that you're not going to be a good conversation to be had. Yeah, I mean, this draft class was fucking loaded. At the time, we knew it was loaded. Like, that was the whole thing entering this draft, was that it was loaded. And it's funny because, I mean, this feels like a pretty... You've got a bad... Well, I was about to say, it feels like they did, like, the top 10, even the lottery, if you just wanted to go to the lottery all were, like, good picks, but my God, the Jerome Robinson pick, yikes. Holy shit, I actually forgot all about that. I think I saw Clippers fans recently say that this was actually the biggest swing and miss. This was worse than the Paul George trade, was the Jerome Robinson pick. Is it not going to be an all-time draft? You have an MVP you've got an MVP in SGA, probably about to be a finals MVP at the age of 26. Luka will, almost certainly win an MVP. Almost certainly. You've got a defensive player of the year in Jaren Jackson Jr. You've got someone who will go down as one of the all-time assists kings, right? Like, Trey will probably, if I had to guess, finish top 5 all-time in assists. Luka will be up there as well. Will anything ever beat the 84 class? No, probably not. Yeah, you got Michael Porter Jr. was like a key piece on a championship team. Jalen Brunson is like saved the New York Knicks franchise damn near. Pretty loaded draft. Mo Bamba had a song named after him. True, DiVincenzo was a role guy on a championship team as well. How many of these guys have rings? DiVincenzo, Michael Porter Jr. Is that it? Grayson Allen wasn't on that team, was he? Oh, yeah, Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown was in the second round. Absolutely. Will anything ever beat the 2000 class in terms of being booty butt cheeks? Let's compare. I don't want to say last year's draft, maybe, but let's compare. 2000 NBA draft. Kenyon Martin, number 1. Thormiles Swift, number 2. Darius Miles. Marcus Fizer. Mike Miller. DeMar Johnson. Chris Mim. Jamal Crawford. Wow. Hey, our guy Deshaun Stevenson. Show some respect. Like, what is win shares? Who's the best player here? Hito Turkoglu, Mike Miller, Jamal Crawford, Michael Redd. Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty, like, historically speaking, that's one of the worst ones ever. Now, would you say 2018? Does 2018 hold the candle to 2003? I think these could end up being very similar classes. Now, the 2003 one will always sort of be, it's the LeBron draft. But I feel like that draft kind of gets talked about. I think 2008 is going to be deeper. Or 2018 is going to be a much deeper draft than this. Because you've got LeBron, the greatest of all time. The greatest of all time. D-Wade was absolutely a top 3 player at his peak. Melo, one of the greatest scorers ever. Chris Bosh, all-NBA guy at his peak. David West was an all-star. Kyle Korver, one of the greatest shooters ever. Like, it's a good draft. Great draft, obviously. But I think 18 is probably going to be deeper than that, right? I don't know, actually. Like, we have Mikal Bridges as 6 in our redraft. If you're just looking at win shares, Kyle Korver was 6th. What about 2009 and 2011? 09 was the Blake Griffin. Okay, 09 was stacked. Harden, Curry, DeMar. Oh, Jesus. Griffin, Drew. That's pretty loaded. Two MVPs, 2 of the greatest players ever. Harden and Curry. One of the greatest scorers ever in DeMar. One of the best peaks of the last 15 years in Blake Griffin. Drew Holiday. My God, this was a loaded-ass class. No, I think 2018's got a way to go. Ways to go to get here. A ways to go. 2011, Jimmy, Kawhi, Kyrie, Clay, Kimba, Isaiah Thomas, Toby, Vooch. Yeah, I mean, this one's stacked too. Let me just send some love. Keep doing what you're doing. Love from Slovenia. Hell yeah, Alice. Love you, Slovenia. Chandler Parsons. Davis Bertans. Yep, Tyreek Evans was in the 2009 draft. Yeah, we got all the way here from the Pacers, but it's fucked up because I actually have other stuff I want to talk about. My God. This wasn't even like on the docket, really. I don't know how we even got here. All right. Let's dive into this. Let's dive into Mavs point guards. Let's dive into the Mavericks pursuit of one of these grandfathers. It does seem as though the Mavericks are going to make a play for a point guard, whether that's in free agency or trade. We know that. Now, I will say the talk and smoke from reliable sources that the Mavs are really interested in Drew Holiday has my ears perked up quite a bit. Right? Mark Stein has said that the Mavericks are expected to at least explore whether there are any feasible trade pathways to land Drew Holiday. Now, we've sort of workshopped some potential trades for Drew. It's very, very difficult. It's very, very complicated because the Celtics are a second apron team. They can't aggregate contracts. The Mavs are right on the verge of that. The moment they aggregate contracts, they're hard capped at the second apron. Both teams are needing to save money, both the Celtics and the Mavs. So this would have to be a 3 or 4 team trade. And 3 or 4 team trade. And we've mapped it out. And I've kind of, I just think Drew's old. Like, that's it. I think Drew's old. I think he lost a step and he's about to be 35, 36 years old. Like, guys don't just regain steps at 35 years old. Guys don't just like, yeah, we're like, 35 was a tough year for me, but 36, I'm back in my athletic peak form. Like, it doesn't really work like that. And he's $30 million a year for the next 3. So while, if this were 3 years ago, man, I would be like, dude, fuck it. Trade everything for Drew outside of like your picks, outside of the number 1 overall pick. I'd be cool with trading almost anything for like a 31-year-old Drew Holiday. I think it just fits so perfectly with the team. But the contract makes it next to impossible. Now I've sort of worked. We've done mock trades. I've shared them on here. Worked our way through it. Figured out some trades that I think could make sense. We're not going to be able to pay Gafford. We're not going to be able to pay Washington. Let's trade those guys. I think there's pathways for you to land Drew while also getting like assets in return. This was a trade that I workshopped. Drew, you get 2 first-round picks, but you're losing Gafford and PJ. Gafford's going to the Hawks. They got a trade exception. PJ's going to the Celtics. They save $18 million in this process. I don't love it necessarily. Again, because I just go back to, I'm just not there on Drew Holiday at this point in time. And like whoever the Mavs are going after, gonna have like a decent role. A lot's gonna be asked of them for the first 4 or 5 months of the season. Right? If one of those picks can be 2027 first, we open up future flexibility. I had the Celtics first as a 2027 first. But if the Mavs are like interested in exploring it, I think it'd have to be something like this. Maybe it's not. You know what? Maybe it's not PJ. Maybe it's Clay or something. Maybe it's not someone as good as PJ. I personally, if I'm a team, and this isn't even just for the Mavs, but if I'm a team and I'm interested in Drew this summer, I'm interested in it because, yeah, maybe I think Drew can help me out, but also I'm trying to get something in return back. Like, if I'm helping you save money, Celtics, I don't view Drew as a positive asset at this point in time. There's no way. At his age, making $30 million a year for the next 3 years, no. At this point in time, no. I'm not viewing him as a positive asset. You're not getting anything of value in return for me unless I'm getting stuff back. D. White would actually be perfect. Interested in pursuing Drew. Sounds like the Mavs want him. Interested in exploring whether there's any feasible pathways. Sounds like he's bottom of their target list. That's one way to look at it. To me, what that sounds like is we'd like to have Drew, but similar to what I was saying, we're not giving up much for him. Like, we're interested in exploring whether, like, maybe we can get off some money while making this happen. You guys get off some money. We're not giving up much of return at all. I can't imagine it. Now I will say this. I do think that where was I going? I forgot. Honestly, I forgot. I don't think it's going to happen. How about that? Do you think Nico views Drew as a negative asset? I think with how close the Mavs are to the second apron already, probably. Chances of these rumors being used to pressure the Lakers and trading Austin? Not that high. The Mavs also still have interest in Lonzo Ball as he is a far more reasonable trade target. So Lonzo's name has been coming up in my opinion, a shocking amount. What does the Lonzo trade to me, though, where it starts to fall apart is I don't know what that trade looks like, man. Lonzo for Caleb and second round picks. Does that even work, though? I don't even think that works. Lonzo's at what, 10 million, right? Isn't that what his number is? 10 million. Dallas can't. So, like, that doesn't even work because Dallas can't. No, I don't think it does because I thought I saw Mavs CBA say the Mavs can't take on more than $300,000 in money in any trade. So they have this as a success, but I'm not sure it actually is. At Omax. So then the moment the Mavs aggregate contracts, they're hard capped to the second apron. So Caleb Martin and Omax for Lonzo. Okay, I mean, no, but it's the apron rules. It's aggregating contracts in a trade, hard caps you. It's a fucking whole complicated ass process. I guess my thing is, like, sure, I could get there with the Hardy Omax thing. Like, okay, our Hardy and Omax for Lonzo, but I'm just like, why are the Bulls doing that exactly? You know, like I'm kind of, all right, Hardy, do we think teams view him as a positive asset? He's making $6 million a year for the next 3. Do we think the Bulls are like, hell yeah, we want him? Like, we could see a pathway for Hardy. Omax is probably a 0 asset. I love the guy, but I can't imagine Omax is moving the needle. So what? The Bulls are just like taking a shot at one of these guys Not sure why. I don't even know if this trade works, actually, because the Mavs are taking on nearly $1 million more. I don't even think that's possible for them. And Lonzo's played 60 games in the last 4 or 5 calendar years. I just like this trade's actually, I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is I'm struggling to figure out how this trade makes sense without it being just like kind of a disgusting, gross overpay for the Mavs. Is sort of where I'm at. Like, you could get there. You can make it happen. There's definitely trade avenues there. Right? But what's the trade where you make it and you're not like, what the fuck? Why did they do that? Like, Lonzo? I mean, I like him, but 30 games? Aren't all of these trades obsolete since fans pose in incorporating Flag's contract? Yeah, that's why I'm saying you have to. I think that's why you have to be under 300,000. You can't make more than three. You can't be bringing on more than 300,000. I mean, and then Io, I'm like, Io's cool and all, but whoever you're trading for is like going to be your starting point guard for 4 months. So Chris Paul has now become an interesting name as well. Where, believe it or not, Chris Paul is now the betting favorite to land with the Dallas Mavericks in free agency. All right. Minus 120. Can we sign him? Yeah, you can. Chris Paul for a minimum. Absolutely. It's possible. So I'm actually coming back to I don't think Chris Paul will do this. Like, I'm okay, so I think pretty much every single team in the league is down to offer Chris Paul a vet minimum. I can't imagine there's even teams that aren't contending. We'll look at what he's done with San Antonio and what he's done every step of the way and be like, I want that guy in our locker room. I want that guy in our locker room to mentor some of these younger guys. Is he choosing Dallas over every other team, basically? The pitch for Chris Paul, come be our starter for 4 months. We're trying to contend for a championship. Play alongside AD. You've played alongside him at the Olympics. Play alongside Kyrie when he comes back. We got the number 1 overall pick, Cooper Flag. You know, kind of take him under your wing a little bit. Come play with your guy, kid. It is the only contending team that he would probably start for, right? I mean, I'm trying to think of any other like team contending that Chris Paul would start for. Or would it be one of the LA teams be like, hey, Chris Paul, come home, man. Probably your last year. Come chill with the family, you know. Play close to home, play on the West Coast. You can come off the bench for us, like. Or a team says, hey, Chris Paul, we got $10 million, like the Spurs did. We got money to spend. We have no one really to spend it on. Come here for a year, $10 million. Maybe we'll trade you at the deadline. We have to free up the taxpayer, but that would get to him. So then if that's the case, if Chris Paul's like, yo, I've been in the league for so long, I'm kind of like a well-respected figure in the league. I can't take a minimum. Like, I can't do it. It doesn't set a good precedent. Teams will pay me. I'm not taking a discount. All right. So then you think about it is you're basically having to trade for Chris Paul because you're having to trade things to open up stuff. He can take MLE mid-level 5.6. Yeah, but again, the Mavericks have to open that up. They're not going to have that more than likely. They're going to have to make moves to get that. Dump salary. Now, maybe that could be easy. No, Kyrie's extension, Cooper Flag at like, what is it? $14 million against the cap or something like that is cap hold. They're gonna be a second apron team without moves. Now, I will say though, I'm going through all of this in my brain, and I am thinking to myself, well, what if, can you not just bring back Exum? Like, what's Exum's market? Is bringing back Exum like on the table? Because honestly, I'm not against that. Exum's injuries concern me though. Yeah, but the guys we're talking about right now, you're talking about a 40-year-old Chris Paul, who maybe you have to trade stuff to open up and they might have to do that anyways. Do they have Exum's bird rights? Exum Dinwiddie Beeble backcourt, I swear, could hold it down. I made this in the Lockdown episode I was on where I was like, I wouldn't be all that surprised if that's our backcourt, Exum, Spence, and B Will. Like, that really wouldn't surprise me. And Isaac was like, nah, they're getting someone. Like, there will be a new player on the team for sure. No bird rights for Exum. Yeah, how long do you have to be with the team? Isn't it like 4 years or some shit? Is current team with X and B will at least an above 500 team easily? I would like to say yes. I do think the Mavs will be good next year. Will they be a championship contender? I mean, I don't know. Probably not, if we're just being honest. Hardy hasn't been mentioned once. What happened to that young man? Really disappointing season last year. Really disappointing season when it was all kind of opened up for him. Really disappointing. Just whatever you do, sadly, don't say the Mavs are going to have a boring offseason. Next thing you know, we're trading the number 1 pick in Kyrie. I don't even think that's possible. I'll tell you right now, that's not happening. Stamp it. Hardy was a top high school prospect, yes, but it hasn't panned out, man. And he's had opportunities. He has. I saw 6 rings of steel saying the Mavs should run Flag at point guard. He'll have some on-ball responsibility. That's why I think the Mavs are actually a great landing spot for him, and beyond like the slightly biased side of me. The why I think the Mavs are actually a great landing spot for him is because he'll get on-ball responsibilities without like having to be the point guard. Like, he can play off ball, he can play off of AD, he can play off of Kyrie. You know, hey, the Mavs go get Chris Paul. He can have that level point guard, that floor general, that basketball genius to play off of. But he'll also have times where it's like, hey, Cooper Flag, go get us a bucket. Go get us a good look. I think, people are like saying it's one of the worst landing spots for him. I mean, that's just emotional. Like, I think it's objectively one of the best ones in the lottery for him. Did he bring the ball up the court for Duke? Oh, yeah, all the time. That's one of the things that's so exciting about him. So anyways, Chris Paul is currently the betting favorite. Or the Mavs, I guess, are currently the betting favorite to get Chris Paul. We'll see about that. I'm not too convinced. That was some hater shit. The Mavs the worst spot for him. Oh yeah, it's people hating for sure. Absolutely. These people are 2K pilled and think the Wizards are a good spot. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't even want to shit on these teams because that feels bad. But like, really? Like, really? You think the Hornets or Wizards are a better landing spot for Cooper Flag than the Mavs? Seriously? You really think that? The Wizards are doing some good stuff. Like, that's why I don't really want to poo-poo them. Like, you can poo-poo the Hornets. Call it what it is. Poo-poo them. The money works here. Who says no? The Pelicans can absorb $11.5 million. How can the Pelicans absorb $11.5 million? Gafford, Martin, Hardy. I mean, they're saying no to that. They're saying fuck you. They're not just saying no. They're saying fuck you to that trade. PJ Hardy Omax for Keontae George, Jordan Clarkson, and second round pick. PJ Hardy Omax for Keontae George, Jordan Clarkson, and a second round pick. Eh. I think you're under the luxury. I think if you're under the luxury tax, if you're sending out $7 million, you can take a lot of money back. I've seen it on Fanspo. I mean, even then, they're not doing this trade. The Pelicans aren't doing this trade. So that's what's up on the Mavericks front. Saw this article: 3 dream trade targets for every NBA team this summer. Do I want to go through that? Should we go through that? All 30 teams? Does that sound worth our time? It's kind of a lot. Yeah. Honestly, I think no. No, yes. Let's just like do a little precursory glance at it just to see what it looks like. 3 dream trade targets for every NBA team. The Hawks, Jaylen Brown, Jaden McDaniels, and Marcus Smart. Okay. Financial relief. All right. So this is just like literal dream targets. What do they have for the Mavs, I wonder? Let's just look at it. Kevin Durant, Derek White, and Anthony Simons. All right. Okay. All right. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure that's the dream trade target. 5 potential NBA trades nobody's talking about, from Jaylen Brown to Jared Allen. I saw something yesterday that said the belief is that Tatum is the only untouchable player for the Celtics. Now, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure that's true. I think Jaylen Brown's probably like, yeah, we trade him. Okay, cool. For Giannis. Oh, okay. Like one of those things where it's like, yeah, he could be available. Oh, and then the Wizards are like, all right, bet. How about? And they're like, for Jokic. It's like, oh, okay. So not for Bub Carrington. Who I like Bub Carrington. I don't know why I'm shitting on the Wizards today. They've done a good job so far. They've done a good job the last couple of years. I'm not even really meaning to do that. So my bad. Jaylen Brown is untouchable because no other teams want to touch him. No, there are definitely teams. If the Celtics tomorrow came out and said, hey, Jaylen Brown's on the market, send all your offers, I think almost every single team in the league is sending something for him. Would you give up Gafford in a first for Kobe White? I don't know. Jonathan Kuminga heads for Chicago. So for the Bulls, Giddey, I don't even know what the trade looks like yet, but I'm trying to think of what their core would be after this. Buzelis, Giddey, Kobe White, Kuminga. That's kind of a fucking hilarious core. Now, I'm going to guess Kuminga. This means probably Vucevic and Lonzo to the Warriors. The trade, Chicago Bulls acquired Jonathan Kuminga via sign and trade from Golden State Warriors for Kobe White. Oh. Well, I mean, this is a slam dunk home run, no doubter for the Warriors. Restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga's days with the Warriors appear numbered, as he and the Warriors are expected to explore sign and trade scenarios, per Anthony Slater. Let's say Kuminga's new starting salary is $25 million. That'll be the incoming figure for Chicago, but only counts as $12.5 an outgoing salary for Golden State. Interesting. All of that shit is just so complex. So the Bulls, then their core would be Giddey, Kuminga, and Buzelis. Yeah. I don't think Kuminga's value is that high either. I don't know what Kuminga's value is. If I'm any team in the league, aren't I looking at the Kuminga situation and saying, so why do we want that? Like, ideally, right? We want to be a team that contends soon. If we're going to pay Kuminga $25 million, we want to be a team that's competitive. I just watched a championship team, like, basically tell this guy, fuck you. We do not think you're a winning basketball player, so sit on the bench. So I'm just like, hell yeah, we want that. I have no clue what Kuminga's market's going to be. No clue. I think other teams probably use that as leverage, but it doesn't make them less interested. I mean, I guess for a team like Brooklyn, who's just like, yeah, we'll just take anyone really with some upside. The Warriors also haven't helped them much, in my opinion. Their system just isn't suitable for a player like him. So again, it's like, if I'm the Bulls, am I like, yeah, hell yeah, we want that. And we'll trade you one of our like legit great assets in Kobe White. I just don't see it. Drew Holiday joins AD and Cooper Flag in Dallas. All right, let's see where this goes. Dallas Mavericks acquired Drew Holiday from the Boston Celtics for PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford, Omax, 29 first-round pick. All right, well, that's the worst fucking trade I've ever seen. God. This would be horrific. This would be so... It's hard to even come to grips with how bad this would be. First and foremost, does this even save the Celtics money? I mean, first and foremost, let's start here. PJ Washington and Gafford straight up too much in this trade. Like, that's too much to pay for Drew Holiday. But I'm also throwing in a first? No chance. No chance. I mean, the Celtics take this and run. The Mavs take a real risk on Holiday. I mean, that goes beyond saying it. This isn't even really a risk. This is you lose the trade the moment it happens. Bill Simmons suggested that one. I'm like, with Isaac, if Drew was on the last year of his 2-year deal, I'm in, but this contract is too long. I don't like. There's no world in which Drew could be an expiring, and I'm not giving up this package for him. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Jaylen Brown juices Orlando's offense. This Celtics guy write this. What's this package going to be? Paolo and Franz? Pussy Liquor with the 199. Coop learning from AD, K, Cly, and CP. K. AD, Kai, Clay, and CP. I mean, that would be pretty nice. Orlando Magic acquire Jaylen Brown from the Boston Celtics for Jonathan Isaac, Anthony Black, Mo Wagner, and 2 picks. Why does it feel like the Mavericks are damn near giving up more in a trade for Drew Holiday? Like, I know they're not, but They are? I guess it depends on how you feel about Anthony Black, huh? Jesus. This one's stinky. Just bring CP home to Dallas. Come on home, CP. I mean, this is awful for the Celtics, right? Does this even work money-wise? Jonathan Isaac, Anthony Black, and Mo Wagner? In my brain, that's like $30 million. Cleveland shakes up their core. All right, Jared Allen trade. I concocted what I thought was actually a pretty good Jared Allen trade where the Mavs got Austin Reeves. And I liked it. Lakers get Jared Allen. Mavs get Austin Reeves. Cavs get PJ Washington and Dalton Connect. Maybe the Mavs are throwing a pick. I had the Lakers originally throwing a pick, and then people told me, no, that's bad. It's okay. So Jared Allen on the Lakers. Mavs get Reeves. Kyrie, hey, Coop, here's how you do a hezzy between Chris Paul. Hey, Coop, here's how you perfect the pick and roll. AD, all right, here's how you fake a leg injury. Come on, bro. AD's teaching him way more than that. He's definitely teaching him that, but he's also teaching him more. Let's see what this is. Cavaliers get Cam Johnson from the Brooklyn Nets for Jared Allen, Jalen Tyson, and a future first. Wait, what? The Nets are getting a first? And Jared Allen? This one doesn't make much sense. This one doesn't make sense for either team, really. Unless the Nets are like, yeah, we'll do this, and then we'll flip Jared Allen. But am I crazy, or is this fucking terrible for the Cavs? Right? I mean, this is a terrible trade for Cleveland. Am I wrong? Cam Johnson on the Cavs is interesting for sure. But I'm also giving up a 2031 first in that trade when I don't have any first to trade really at all. I don't know about that. What's the last one? Milwaukee and Phoenix swap problematic deals. Oh, is this a Dame for Beal swap? Bradley Beal for Damian Lillard straight up swap. Oh, wait, didn't I propose this once? Didn't we talk about this potential trade? Didn't we kind of like talk about that? Who would say no? Wait, failed. It doesn't even work. Oh. Jesus. The second apron is just brutal. Who says no in this trade? I mean, this is just a hilarious trade. Beal, all right. Let's just say Beal's like, fuck it, I'm done here. Like, I'll go wherever you guys trade me. I'm not doing that again. Like, I'm not doing another season of this. Wherever you guys want to trade me, trade me. The Bucks, I guess, are just so desperate. And the Suns are, I guess, so desperate to get off Beal, and then they talk themselves into, well, we'll have 37-year-old Dame next year, KD, if you want to stay. The Suns almost certainly would say no, right? Because they're trying to win. Like they can't, like they need players who play. I guess the Bucks have to consider this. That's a hilarious trade, though. That is a hilarious trade. So the Bucks would have Kuzma, Beal, and Giannis, big three. How about that? What a group. Fuck me, man. Why am I yawning so much? Giannis for Paul George? Hell yeah. Paul George, Bradley Beal, Kyle Kuzma, big three. Oh, this is hilarious. I imagine a world where the Bucks are like, Giannis, we got to move. We're working on. We can't tell you the details yet, but we got to move. We're working on. And Giannis is like, okay, I'll stay. I'll stay if it's a big move. Oh, it's going to be a big move. Bringing in a big money guy. They make this trade. Giannis calls him immediately. All right, trade me right now. Wasn't it like, did Dame get traded the summer that Jeremy Grant signed that contract, or was it the summer after? Was it the same summer? I can't remember. It was, wasn't it? I remember that. Everyone was like, no, this means that Dame's staying. They wouldn't give Jeremy Grant this otherwise. Then Dame was like, yeah, fuck you. Would the Blazers take Dame back? But why would the Blazers do that, though? Like, you're a young team. This guy's not going to play this year, more than likely. Get off Grant/Ayton. That's actually kind of interesting. I hadn't thought about something like that. So Dame to the Blazers. Oh, Ayton and Grant. You can't do that. My God, those two combined are making 67 mil. Holy hell. Are the Bucks a first or second apron team? They're a first apron team, right? Are they? They're under that now, aren't they? Oh, so they could do Dame. They could do like Dame and Pat Connaughton. They could do this, right? There's probably some cap stuff. So get off your 2 shit contracts, and in return get a couple shit contracts. I guess I'm not really sure why the Blazers would still I'm still not really sure why the Blazers would do this. Unless Dame sells more seats, but Dame's not going to play this year. Dame's almost certainly not playing this season. They'd have to look at the Grant contract. It's like, this is one of the worst contracts in the league. We got to get off this any way we can. So you're basically saying this helps our cap out 2 years from now tremendously to get off that 32 mil. You know, it's not. You know what? It's not that bad. The Bucks do this, right? I think in a desperation move, the Bucks probably. But then you'd have Ayton, Grant, and Kuzma combining to make damn near $100 million. That's just. That's just shocking. This actually makes me curious. What are some Dame trades? Let's see. How do I look up these again? Trade proposals. Here we go. Let me see some Dame trades. How are the Bucks get? Let's a scenario in which the Bucks are getting better and Giannis stays. Trade idea. Here we go. Beal to the Bucks, Dame to the Suns. The Jazz are in here just to take on another contract. I actually don't think the Suns would do that. I really wouldn't. Bucks retool if Giannis stays. Let's see. Bucks get John Collins, Nurkic, Sexton, Josh Green, Derek Jones Jr., and also a future first. Brook Lopez sign and trade to the Warriors. Oh, they're also getting Gary Trent Jr., Kevon Looney, Taurean Prince, and Ryan Rollins in free agency. Why the fuck are the Jazz doing this? Why are the Clippers doing this? Why are the Hornets are here. Why are the Hornets doing this? Nurkic and Josh Green. Wait, why are they doing this? That Kuzma contract is 10 times worse than anything they gave up. No, I mean, I think the Warriors probably sign and trade for Brook Lopez. They only give up some seconds. They'd probably do that. Beal for Booker. Beal for Lillard is hilarious. That's one of the funniest trades I've seen in a long time. Is this a good trade? Kings get Damian Lillard for Zach LaVine and Malik Monk, and they're trading two picks. One a second rounder and one a first. Why the fuck would the Kings do that? Why on earth are they doing that? All right, real quick, though, before we get off. I did want to see... I want to see some creative Drew Holiday trades to the Mavs. Let me see what you guys... Let me see what's getting cooked up here. What do you... Okay, there. Let's see what's getting cooked up. Celts save $12 million whilst improving. Oh, I'm so sure. They're getting Cam Johnson and Caleb Martin. The Mavs are getting Drew Holiday. Mavs are getting Drew Holiday. They're giving up Clay, Hardy, and Caleb Martin and a future first. Why they're not doing this, man? I hope to God they don't move a pick in a Drew Holiday trade if it were to happen. Perfect LA offseason. Mavs are getting Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleba, Dalton Connect, and Shake Milton for Gafford and PJ Washington. Typical scenario from an arrogant Lakers buddy. Fast no from all the other teams. LA could hold their trash. Well, I agree with that sentiment, but, you know, long days are the gone. Long gone are the days where we can laugh at shit like that. What? What is it? What the fuck is this? Oh, this was 4 months ago. This guy saw the vision. Celtics get better. Mavs get Chris Paul. Mavs are signing 41-year-old Chris Paul to a 3-year contract. What are they giving up in this sign and trade? Caleb Martin? I mean, okay. All right. 3 years, $30 million for a 41-year-old Chris Paul. Celtics are getting DeRozan, Nikola Vucevic, and Lonzo Ball. Oh, and they're keeping Al Horford, keeping Cornette, keeping Torrey Craig. Blake Griffin's returning. Oh, they're renouncing the... Okay, never mind. They're renouncing the cap holds of these guys. All right. I thought Blake Griffin was returning. Oh, they're renouncing Al Horford. Okay. So the Kings are trading DeRozan for Drew and Caleb Martin. Don't really see why they would do that. Spurs are getting Sam Hauser. I guess I could see them doing that. And the Bulls are getting KP for Vooch. I mean, I'm dead at the Mavs signing Chris Paul to a 3-year deal. It's because you have to do a 3-year deal for a sign and trade. So could you maybe do 3 years with 2 team options? Is that even possible? Can you only do 1 option in a contract? Obviously, a trade that needs to happen. All right, so this is kind of where I'm. All right. Okay, see, now we're kind of talking a little bit here. So the Celtics get Gafford plus 2 firsts from the Nets. But they're both in this year's draft. Okay, hold on a second. This guy might have cooked a little bit here. This guy actually might have fucking cooked. Daniel Gafford to the Celtics. PJ Washington and Jaden Hardy to the Nets. The Mavs are getting Drew Holiday, Sixers 2027 first. And they get in on the 2029 pick swaps with Houston, Dallas, or Phoenix. So they basically get their own pick back. How does this swap work? Houston will receive the 2 most favorable of its 2029 first-round pick. Okay, so they're getting the least favorable of those 3. The Nets are getting 3 firsts because... So they're basically moving down in the draft and giving the Celtics one of their picks in this year's draft in exchange for 2 future firsts from the Celtics. That actually feels really rich. I like this guy. This guy's got potential. Justin Frosto. This guy's got real potential. Real potential. Offseason trade that needs to happen. Amin Thompson. Wait. Okay. Tobias Harris, Ron Holland, and Marcus Sasser to the Rockets. Jabari Smith and Cam Whitmore to the Pistons. Offseason trades that need to happen. Let's see this one. Nets get Moses Moody. Warriors get Jalen Johnson. Hawks get Cam Johnson, Buddy Hield, and Guy Santos. And they're also getting Mark Williams. Where's Mark Williams coming to play? Where does Mark Williams spawn in from? Mark Williams just spawned in? Yeah. One hit wonder, maybe. Maybe a 1-hit wonder situation here. 4-team trade. The Mavs get Drew. And Clippers pick this year. Thunder get PJ. Oh. Celtics get Gafford, Ujman Jang in 2 seconds. Pistons are getting Kenrich, Dwight Powell, a first in this year's draft. Yeah, that feels like a bad return for the Mavs. Gobert Lakers trade? Where is that at? Trade idea. Mavs give up Gafford, Caleb Martin, Jane Hardy, and Dwight Powell for Drew Holiday. Yep, never happening in a million fucking years. Let's see the creativity. We need to see some creativity. Mavs are giving up Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington. Oh, and El Max. Oh, and a second for Drew. Mavs tell you to go and fuck yourself. Look at the Lakers Gobert trade. Where is it? Where is it? Search Gobert. Oh, my God. Wait, this one? Lakers get Gobert for Rui, Jared Vanderbilt, and Maxi Kleba. His name is S General. No, that's a page. That's not people's names. That's a page. Lakers get Rudy Gobert and Lonzo. Timberwolves get Gafford, Jalen Smith, and Najee Marshall. Bulls get Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves, Maxi Kleba, and a first. Mavs get Kobe White. That's interesting. That's actually a little interesting. No, this isn't that bad. No, these trades like these never happen, obviously, but Gafford in 17 or Gobert in the 17th overall pick in this year's draft for Rui and Reeves. His name is okay. I'm sorry. What is the trade? This one? I just looked at it. There you go. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. All right. So I probably will not be live tonight. Twitter debate. What's this? Okay. So I probably will not be able to be live tonight for tonight's game. But we will be live tomorrow on Bleacher Report. I'm about to put a post up on YouTube. Send me your hot takes for the upcoming NBA offseason. And I'll read off some of the Mavericks ones on Bleacher Report tomorrow. So, yeah, be on the lookout for that. If you're listening to this on Spotify, leave a 5-star review. I love you. 80 averages 60 games a year, so that's tough. Over under 80 plays 60 games. Let's say over. I'm going to say over. What do you guys think? I still think PJ will be the trade piece to get us another player, but I think the Mavs would keep PJ. Yeah, I think the key to the offseason for the Mavs is whether or not they are like, we're going to keep Gafford and PJ, or whether or not they're like, yeah, we're not sure we can pay these guys, so it might be worth trading them. Because if that's the route they go, they can upgrade their roster in areas of need. We'll see. It's going to be juicy. It's going to be interesting, to say the least. How mad would you be if the Mavs drafted Harper over Flag? Very fucking mad. All right, folks. Thank you all for tuning in. All the OGs, you guys, I love you very much. Could have spent your Wednesday morning anywhere in the world. You decided to spend it here. New subscribers, I promise, guys, not regret it. Donations, members, you guys never have to do that, but it helps me out tremendously. Makes me feel so good. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow on Bleacher Report. Talk to you all later. I love you. Bye.